Welcome back to the channel X Coins Hub. We're thrilled to have you here again, where every coin has a story, and some of those stories might just change your life. What if I told you that 3 old pennies could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars? Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But today, we're about to dig into a coin so legendary, so rare, that it's kept collectors wide-eyed for decades. And yes, it might be sitting in your coin jar right now that we're talking about the 1955 Lincoln Wheat 1-cent penny. A small copper coin most people wouldn't think twice about, but in the world of numismatics, this one's a rock star. Let's rewind to 1955. Dwight Eisenhower was president. Rock and roll was just taking off. And the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was striking millions of Lincoln cents, fast, furious, and non-stop to meet economic demands. Now, the design was nothing new. President Abraham Lincoln's profile faced right on the obverse, while the reverse bore 2 wheat ears and the words, 1 cent and United States of America. It had been that way since 1909. Simple. Elegant. Familiar, but something unexpected happened one night in the minting process. And that's where our mystery begins. Picture a noisy production floor. Huge metal dies slamming into copper planchets, hundreds per minute. But due to a rare mechanical mishap, one of the dies was misaligned during the creation of some obverse dies. When that flawed die was used to mint coins, it produced one of the most famous error coins in American history, the 1955 double die obverse Lincoln penny. At first glance, the coin looked normal. But with a closer look, the doubling is undeniable. The words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," appear almost shadowed, with bold doubling that even the naked eye can see. The date, 1955, is so clearly doubled that even non-collectors raised an eyebrow. This wasn't a slight error. This wasn't something hidden under magnification. This was a blaring mistake. And here's the wild part, thousands of these error pennies were released into circulation before anyone at the mint noticed. They were accidentally mixed in with cigarette vending machine change in New England. Yes, folks got back these flawed pennies when they bought cigarettes for 25 cents. Imagine buying a pack and unknowingly getting handed a penny now worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about why this error is so valuable. In coin collecting, mint errors can drastically change the value of a coin. A double die obverse like this one is highly collectible because it's bold, it's easy to identify, and it's scarce. But it's not the only kind of error out there. There are proof errors, where coins intended for special collector sets are struck improperly, with missing details or unusual finishes. Then there are off-center strikes, where a coin's design is visibly off balance, sometimes showing only half of Lincoln's face, or a blank arc along the rim. The more dramatic the strike, and the more readable the date, the more valuable the coin becomes, and of course, die cracks, die breaks, and struck-through errors also spice up the world of coin collecting. But when it comes to iconic, eye-catching, history-making errors? The 1955 double die penny leads the charge. Now imagine being a collector, maybe even just a casual one, sorting through some old coins inherited from a relative. You glance at a 1955 penny, thinking it's nothing. But then, you see it. The letters look weird. The date? Almost echoed. You grab a magnifying glass. You freeze. Could this be it? That's the kind of rush collectors live for, and here's the best part, you could have one of these coins at home. Yes, seriously. This coin was in wide circulation before it was pulled. That means it's still out there, maybe tucked in an old piggy bank, a dusty drawer, or a forgotten roll of cents passed down through generations, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. This coin can be worth anywhere between $41,000 to $380,000 depending on its condition. That's right, a penny. Just 1 cent. If it's in pristine, uncirculated condition and shows that dramatic doubling clearly, it could fetch nearly $400,000 at auction. Even lower-grade examples have sold for tens of thousands. So the next time you're rolling coins, counting change, or just poking through that old box of keepsakes, pay special attention to those 1955 pennies. If you spot one, don't spend it. Don't clean it. Get it professionally graded. That tiny copper coin could be your golden ticket, and if you love stories like this, real, thrilling coin discoveries that turn pocket change into hidden treasure, then you know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you never miss another coin mystery here on X Coins Hub. Now go check your change. and who knows? Your fortune might just be 1 penny away. Now, what if I told you that 3 ordinary pennies could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, right? But hold on, because what you're about to discover might just have you sprinting to your coin jar or diving into your old piggy bank. Today, we're taking a close look at a humble, copper-colored coin minted over 70 years ago, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat 1-cent penny. It might seem ordinary, but for some lucky collectors, this little penny has transformed into a life-changing payday. Let's roll back the clock to the early 1950s. America was in a post-war boom. Dwight D. Eisenhower was gearing up for his presidential run. And in Denver, the U.S. Mint was striking millions of Lincoln Wheat pennies to keep up with a growing economy. The 1952 penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, facing right. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, had been a staple since 1909. On the back, you'll see 2 wheat ears arching around the words, 1 cent and United States of America. It's a classic, nostalgic look for anyone who's ever handled mid-century coins. Now, here's where things get really interesting. While the Denver Mint was busy churning out over 746 million of these pennies in 1952, not every single coin came out perfect. And those imperfections? They're worth a fortune today. Let's talk about mint errors. Point 1 of the most sought-after types is the double die obverse, where the front design of the coin is accidentally struck twice by the die, causing a ghost-like doubling effect in the date, motto, or Lincoln's features. These are often visible to the naked eye, especially in the lettering of, "In God We Trust," or the word, "Liberty." Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin was stamped incorrectly, leaving part of the design missing or misaligned. The more dramatic the off-center, and if the date is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. And don't forget proof errors. These are coins meant for collectors, usually struck with extra care and detail. But when something goes wrong, like missing details, wrong planchets, or unusual finishes, they can become even more desirable than perfect proofs. Some 1952 pennies have also been found struck on foreign planchets or underweight copper blanks, adding another level of rarity. Now picture this: a coin collector, maybe just a weekend hobbyist, sorting through an old coin roll they bought at a flea market for $5. Dozens of copper pennies clinking around in a paper tube. Nothing stands out, until one catches their eye. The lettering looks off. A closer look under a magnifying glass reveals a perfect doubling in the date and motto. Their heart races. Could this be one of the rare 1952 double die obverse errors? They send it to a grading company. Weeks go by. Then the results come in. It's authentic. And the coin? Worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's not just a fantasy. Stories like that happen more often than you think. Because these coins weren't removed from circulation. Many are still out there, waiting. Over the decades, as more collectors realized what they had, the value of rare 1952 error pennies began to climb. Slowly at first. A few $100s here, 1,000 there. Then demand shot up. These coins, especially in mint state or with visible double dies, started commanding higher and higher prices. Even coins with minor die breaks, clipped planchets, or lamination errors started turning heads in the coin collecting world. So how much is one of these rare beauties worth today? This coin can be worth anywhere between $33,000 to $440,000 depending on its condition. Yes, that's not a typo. A 1-cent coin could command nearly $500,000 at auction, if it's rare enough, clean enough, and error-rich. Now, before you say, "Well, I'll never have one of those," ask yourself, have you checked your change lately? Have you gone through those old jars in your garage? That shoebox of coins your grandparents left you? Because these aren't fantasy treasures buried in the earth, they're hiding in plain sight. That's the thrill of numismatics. Any ordinary moment can turn into a treasure hunt. So grab that magnifying glass. Take a closer look at those copper pennies. If you spot a 1952 examine the date, the motto, the alignment. If anything seems off, it might just be the clue to something incredible. And if you love stories like this, real, thrilling coin discoveries that turn everyday change into unbelievable cash, then we've got so much more for you. Like this video, subscribe to Xcoins Hub, and tap that bell icon so you never miss another amazing coin mystery. You could be 1 penny away from a fortune. Keep hunting, and we'll see you in the next video. Lincoln Wheat 1-cent penny. And the wild part? You might have won and not even know it. Let's rewind time to 1957. The US was riding the post-war economic boom. Elvis was climbing the charts, cars had fins, and over 1 billion wheat pennies were struck that year, with more than 1 billion of them minted at the Denver Mint alone, marked by that tiny D under the date that it was the end of an era. Literally. The Lincoln Wheat penny was nearing its final years, soon to be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. So, by 1957, the wheat penny had become familiar. Widespread. Forgettable to most, but not all 1957 DS were created equal. Some of these coins, accidentally, miraculously, slipped through the cracks with flaws. Flaws that would become goldmines for collectors. Picture this: a routine day at the Denver Mint. A slight misalignment in the die. A doubling of the lettering on the obverse, the front side of the coin. Or maybe the planchet, the blank copper disc, was a bit too thin, or the strike was just a little off-center. Just enough to make it different. These aren't mistakes that ruin the coin. These are errors that make the coin priceless. Let's talk double die obverse. This happens when the die imprints the coin design more than once, but slightly offset. It can cause the date, the motto, "In God We Trust," or even Lincoln's profile to look doubled or blurry. To a trained eye, or even a curious one, it's unmistakable. Then there's the classic off-center strike, where the coin design doesn't land perfectly on the center. The more off-center it is, and the more of the date that's still visible, the rarer it becomes. And don't forget about proof errors. Proof coins are meant to be perfect, with mirror-like finishes. But when something goes wrong, like a strike-through grease error, die cracks, or a planchet mix-up, you suddenly have a collector's dream. These mint errors weren't just rare, they were unintentional artworks. Tiny flaws that transformed common coins into elusive gems. Now let's shift gears. Imagine you're a coin collector. Not a professional. Just someone who likes to dig through coin rolls from the bank. One day, you're going through a roll of 1957 DS. You're not expecting much. Just more copper coins. Then, something catches your eye. A doubling in the word Liberty. A strange softness around Lincoln's face. And the coin feels slightly off-center. You hold your breath, you grab a loop. Then you look again, your heart races. Could it be a 1957 D-era penny? You send it for grading. Weeks pass. Then, confirmation. It's the real deal. A doubled die. Clear strike. Full red luster. Mint state, and just like that, that one penny becomes the most valuable thing in your entire house. You see, the value of these rare 1957 D-era pennies didn't skyrocket overnight. It took years. Decades. Collectors began noticing patterns, searching for variations, cataloging them. And the more they searched, the more they realized, the rare ones were disappearing into private collections. Scarcity plus demand equals big money. Even moderately circulated 1957 D-era pennies can go for hundreds or thousands. But pristine ones, those with strong strikes, visible doubling or striking mint errors? Those are what dreams are made of. So, how much are we talking? This coin can be worth anywhere between $21,000 to $340,000 depending on its condition. That's right. A penny. 1 cent. Could be worth enough to buy a car, a house, or send your kid to college. Still think checking your spare change is a waste of time? Look, these coins are still out there. In jars. In old drawers. In bank rolls. That 1957 D wheat penny you tossed aside as just another old coin? Take a closer look. Use a magnifier. Check the details, because your everyday penny might just be a once-in-a-lifetime find. That if you found this story exciting, and maybe even a little mind-blowing, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to Xcoins Hub, and tap that bell icon so you never miss another incredible coin mystery. Remember, the next time you find a 1957 D penny, don't spend it, inspect it. We'll see you next time with more change that can change your life.